The Spirit of Eshara. Episode 4. Journey to Kivuli and Meeting Zuberi. The calm waters of Majikai faded into memory as Asha and Imani walked along the winding paths that led from the water realm toward Kivuli, the shadowed realm of ancestors. Although Majikai had tested her strength, Asha knew that her journey was far from over. Now she had to face the unknown dangers of Kivuli, a place where shadows held secrets and ancient knowledge rested beyond the reach of the living. As they walked, Asha noticed the landscape changing. Trees with dark, twisted branches rose around them, and the air grew cooler, filled with an earthy scent. The sunlight dimmed, casting long shadows on the ground, and Asha felt an eerie stillness settle over them. Imani shivered, glancing around nervously. "I don't like this place. Too many spirits lurking around, watching." Masha tightened her grip on Isi, feeling the warmth of the artifact pulse in her hand. It gave her comfort as they entered deeper into Kivuli's realm. She was about to respond to Imani when a rustling sound echoed from the trees ahead. Both of them froze. A figure stepped out of the shadows, tall and broad-shouldered, with a presence that commanded attention. He was dressed in dark robes, his hair woven with beads, and he carried a staff engraved with symbols that seemed to shift as the light hit them. "Who are you?" Asha asked, her voice steady despite her unease. The man gave a small bow, his expression calm yet serious. "I am Zuberi, a seeker of truth and guardian of these lands. And who might you be, young wanderers?" Asha took a deep breath, meeting his gaze. "I am Asha, the spirit keeper. I've come to restore balance to Eshara's fractured realms." A spark of interest flickered in Zuberi's eyes. "A spirit keeper, you say? It's been a long time since one walked these lands. But if you are truly here to heal, you'll need to understand the shadows. Kivuli holds secrets that are not easily shared." Learning from Zuberi. Zuberi led them through the twisted trees, his voice calm as he explained the nature of Kivuli. "This realm is one of shadows and hidden knowledge. It's where the spirits of our ancestors reside, keeping watch over Eshara. But shadows are not simply darkness, they are memories, fragments of the past that hold the wisdom of those who came before." As they walked, Asha noticed ghostly figures appearing in the corners of her vision, whispering words she couldn't quite understand. The spirits of Kivuli moved silently through the trees, their forms barely visible but unmistakably present. Do they see us?" Asha asked, her voice hushed. Zuberi nodded. "They see everything. The spirits here watch over Eshara, but they also guard secrets that must not be disturbed. The balance of the realms depends on it." Asha felt a chill run down her spine. She hadn't realized just how deep and complex the task of the spirit keeper would be. Each realm had its own challenges, its own laws and guardians, and each demanded a different approach. Zuberi stopped by a small clearing, where a stone altar stood beneath a massive tree with roots twisting through the ground like veins. To gain the trust of the Ash Eaters, the volcanic guardians of Kivuli, you must first understand what it means to bear the weight of knowledge. They will not trust you until you prove you are worthy. Asha swallowed, her heart racing. "And how do I do that?" Zuberi smiled, his expression kind yet firm. "By facing the shadows within yourself." The test of shadows. Zuberi instructed Asha to sit before the altar, her back against the ancient tree. She closed her eyes, holding Imosi in her lap, feeling its warmth grounding her as she prepared for whatever test lay ahead. "Listen to the voices of Kivuli," Zuberi said softly. "They will show you what you must face. Remember, the shadows are not your enemy. They are a part of you." Asha took a deep breath, allowing her mind to open to the whispers around her. The shadows seemed to shift, taking on shapes and forms that pulled at her memories. She saw flashes of her family, her village, the familiar faces and voices of her past. But then, darker images emerged. Moments of doubt, fear, and loss. A voice spoke within her mind, soft but filled with an ancient weight. Why do you seek to heal, Spirit Keeper? Is it for Eshara or for yourself? The question startled her, and Asha felt a pang of doubt. Did she truly know why she was on this journey? Was it simply because she had been chosen? Or was there something deeper driving her? She remembered her first encounter with the ancestral spirit, the fear and uncertainty that had filled her heart. I don't know, she whispered, but I want to protect my home, my people. I want to bring peace to Eshara. The shadows around her shifted, the voices growing softer. Quote, Another question echoed within her mind. Will you sacrifice what you hold dear for the good of the realms? Will you give up your comfort, your safety, even your life, if it is asked of you? Asha felt a lump form in her throat. The weight of the question settled over her, heavy and unyielding. But she thought of the rift in Majikai, the dark creature she had faced, and the cost of turning back now. Yes, she said firmly, I am willing, earning the trust of the ash-eaters. The shadows receded, leaving Asha alone in silence. She opened her eyes, feeling a strange sense of peace. Zuberi nodded, as if he had been waiting for her answer. You have passed the first test, Spirit Keeper. The shadows of Kivuli accept you, he said. Now you may approach the ash-eaters. But be warned, they do not welcome strangers easily. Asha rose, following Zuberi as he led her deeper into Kivuli. Imani trailed behind, her usual playful demeanor subdued as she watched the shadows with wary eyes. Soon, they reached the edge of a volcanic crater, where black stones and streams of molten rock marked the landscape. The ash-eaters stood before them, tall, powerful figures with skin, the color of cooled lava, and eyes that glowed like embers. They held long staffs and wore armor made of dark stone, their expressions unreadable as they watched Asha and her companions approach. Zuberi bowed respectfully. This is Asha, the Spirit Keeper. She has come to seek your aid in restoring balance to the realms. One of the ash-eaters stepped forward, his gaze piercing as he looked down at Asha. A Spirit Keeper, you say? We have heard many tales of your kind, but we have seen little action. Why should we trust you? Asha met his gaze, feeling the weight of his scrutiny. Because I am willing to learn, to sacrifice, and to face whatever challenges lie ahead. I may not have all the answers, but I am here to protect Eshara, even if it costs me everything. The ash-eater studied her for a moment, then nodded. Very well, Spirit Keeper. You may prove yourself in the heart of Kivuli's fire. Into the heart of the volcano. The ash-eaters led Asha to the edge of a massive crater, where molten lava bubbled and flowed beneath them. The heat was intense, and Asha could feel sweat beading on her forehead as she stood on the edge, Isi in her hand. This is the heart of Kivuli's power, the ash-eater said. If you wish to gain our trust, you must withstand the flames and face the truth of your spirit. Asha took a deep breath, feeling Essie's warmth steady her. She stepped forward, feeling the heat grow stronger as she neared the edge of the lava. Her heart pounded, but she knew she couldn't back down now. As she stood before the flames, Imasi began to glow, the symbols on its surface pulsing with a faint, fiery light. She felt a connection to the power of the volcano, a raw, ancient force that surged through her, testing her resolve. The heat intensified, but Asha held her ground, focusing on the strength within her. She thought of her village, her family, and the balance she was fighting to restore. Slowly, she felt the heat lessen, as if the flames were acknowledging her strength. The ash-eater nodded, his expression approving. You have passed our test, Spirit Keeper. The strength of Kivuli is with you. Asha let out a breath, feeling a surge of pride and relief. She had earned the trust of the ash-eaters, and with it, another piece of the balance Eshara so desperately needed. With Zuberi and Imani by her side, she left the volcanic crater, her spirit stronger than before. She knew there were still challenges ahead, but for the first time, she felt a glimmer of hope. End of episode 4.